Good morning, children. Today we have a new lesson from your textbook, a different kind of school. Before you read, do you know these words? If you don't find out their meanings, the words are bandage. You can see a bandage on the eyes of the girl. If there is a cut in your hand or legs, you go to the doctor and he puts a bandage on your cut. So I think you understand the bandage. Other word is crutch. If there is a person who is lame, he uses this crutch made of wood that helps you to walk. Other word is cripple. It means lame. Other word is honor. So I think you are aware of the word honor. You write when you write an application to your principal, you use the word honor. So very respectful word. Misfortune. Fortune is luck, and opposite of fortune is misfortune. Means the person who is down by luck. Other word is system. So democratic system, you know, there is democratic system in our country. Social system, the other word, there are certain rules for society. Judiciary system. So these words are there, and I think you are quite aware of these words. Look at the pictures in the unit and guess in what way this school may be different from other schools. You can see the picture of a school. You can see a garden, and a girl is there with a bandage on his eyes, and there is a boy who has hold her hands, perhaps telling him the way or helping the girl in her walk. Now we can start the lesson. I had heard a great deal about Miss Beam's school, but not till last week did the chance come to visit it. The writer says that about himself. I had heard a great deal about Miss Beam's school. The name of the school is is run by Miss Beam. That is why the name of the school is Miss Beam's school. And the writer had heard a great deal about Miss Beam's school, but not till last week did the chance come to visit it. And it is said that the writer goes to visit the school last week. When I arrived, the writer says, when I arrived, there was no one in sight, means no one was to be seen, but a girl of about 12. The writer saw only a girl of about 12 years. Her eyes were covered with a bandage, and she was being led carefully between the flower beds by a little boy, just I had discussed to you, who was about 4 years younger. She stopped. Who stopped? The girl stopped. And it looked like she asked him who had come. He seemed to be describing me to her, means the boy who was 4 years younger than the girl described about the visitor. Who was visitor? The writer was visitor. Then they passed on. Miss Bim was all that I heard. I had expected, means expected means hoped. Now the writer describes about Miss Beam, middle-aged, full of authority, yet kindly. Kindly means friendly and understanding. Her hair was beginning to turn grey. This shows the age of Miss Beam, and she had the kind of plump figure. Plump is stout or pleasantly fat figure that is likely to be comforting to a homesick child. I asked her some questions about her teaching methods, which I had heard were simple. Here, the writer wants to tell that this school, Miss Beam's school, was different from other school, and just you have seen the name of the lesson. It says a different kind of school. Someone says something, that is why fourth paragraph has been started from inverted commas. No more than is needed to help them to learn how to do things. Simple spelling. This was the syllabus told by Miss Beam. Simple spelling, adding in mathematics, subtracting, multiplying, and writing. The rest is done by reading to them and by interesting talks during which they have to sit still. Still means quiet and keep their hands quiet. There are practically no other lessons. This is all about the school, which Miss Beam says to the visitor or the writer. The real aim of this school is not so much to teach through thought as to teach thoughtfulness, kindness to others, and being responsible citizens. Responsible means aware of their duties. Look out of the window a minute, will you? Says Miss Beam to the writer. I went to the window which overlooked, means gave a view of a large garden and a playground at the back. What do you see? Miss Beam asked to the visitor. I see some Very beautiful grounds, I said, and a lot of jolly children. It pains me, though, to see that they are not all so healthy and active looking. When I came in, I saw one poor little girl being laid about. She has some trouble with her eyes. Now I can see two more with the same difficulty. And there is a girl with a crutch. Just I have told disgustive. Crutch means wooden support to walk. Watching the others at play, she seems to be a helpless cripple. Cripple is lame. That is a hopeless cripple. Means hopeless, lame. The writer, the visitor, said to Miss Beam. Miss Beam laughed. Oh no, this is important, children. Oh no, she said. She's not really lame. This is only her lame day. The others are not blind either. It is only their blind day. So I must have looked very surprised, for the she laughed again. Your this paragraph number 9 is very important to understand. This is a very important part of our system. Miss Beam says to the visitor or writer, she says this is a very important part of our system to make our children appreciate, means understand the difficulty and understand misfortune. Misfortune is bad luck. We make them share in misfortune too. Means here Miss B wants to tell that she says we make them for children share in misfortune too. Each term, every child has one blind day, one lame day, one deaf day, one injured day, and one dumb day. During the blind day, their eyes are bandaged absolutely, means completely, and they are on their honor not to peep. Peep means look secretively. The bandage is put on overnight so they wake blind. Miss Beam says she describes the blind day to the writer. She says this means that they need help with everything. Other children are given the duty of helping them and leading them about. They all learn so much this way, both the blind and the helpers. There is no misery about it, Miss Bean continued. Everyone is very kind, and it is really something of a game before the day is over, though even the most thoughtless child realizes, thoughtless means careless child, realizes that misfortune is. What misfortune is? She says the blind days is, of course, really the worst. You know, bad, worse, worst. But some of the children tell me that the dumb day is the most difficult. We cannot bandage the children's mouths, so they really have to exercise their willpower. Come into the garden and see for yourself how the children feel about it. Miss Beam led me to one of the bandaged girls. Here is a gentleman, means Miss Beam says to the girl. Here is a gentleman come to talk to you, said Miss Beam, and left us. I think you know the meaning of left. Leave, 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 left, left. Means Miss Beam went from that place. Don't you ever peep? Means peep means look secretively. I asked the girl. Oh no, she exclaimed. She cried out. That would be cheating. But I had no idea it was so awful. Awful means bad, to be blind. You cannot see a thing. You feel you are going to be hit by something every moment. The girl says to the writer, it is such a relief just to sit down. Are you helpers? Are your helpers kind to you? I asked. Fairly, but they are not as careful as I shall be when it is my turn. Those that have been blind already are the best helpers. It is perfectly ghastly. Ghastly means terrible. Not to see. I wish you would try. Shall I lead you anywhere? I asked. Oh, yes, she said. Let us go for a little walk. Only you must tell me about things. I shall be so glad when today is over. The other bad days cannot be half as bad as this. Having a leg tied up and hopping about on a crutch is almost fun, I guess. Having an arm tied up is a bit more troublesome because troublesome means difficult because you cannot eat without help and things like that. I don't think I will mind being deaf for a day, at least not much, but being blind is so frightening. My head aches all the time just from worrying means causing anxiety that I will get hurt. Where are we now? The girl asked to writer. In the playground, I said. We are walking towards the house. Miss Bean is walking up and down the garden with a tall girl. What is the girl wearing? My little friend asked. Means the girl asked to writer. A blue cotton skirt and a pink blouse. I think it is Millie, she said. What color is her hair? Very light, I said. Yes, that is Millie. She is the head girl. There is an old man time approaches, I said, yes, that is Peter. He is the gardener. He is hundreds of years old. He is hundreds of years old. And here comes a girl with curly red hair. She is on crutches. That is Anita, she said. And so we walked on gradually, means by and by. I discovered that I was 10 times more thoughtful than I ever thought I could be. I also realized that if I had to describe people and things to someone else, made them more interesting to me. When I finally had to leave, I told Miss Beam that I was very sorry to go. Ah, she replied, then there is something in my system after all. Written by E.V. Lucas. Means you can say writer is E.V. Lucas. Dear children, this school is different from other school because children are given different days. Some of them become a lame, some of them become a blind. So I think this is our duty to help others. And in the school, children are taught to how they can be a responsible citizen by practice. So I think you should read this lesson again and again so that you can understand the lesson in a good way. Here there are some questions. Put these sentences from the story in the right order and write them out in a paragraph. Don't refer to the text. So read these exercises and you have to write which one will come first. After that, what is the second sentence? So these lines have been written disorderly. You have to make them in order. Okay, I think you can do this. B. Answer the following questions. Why do you think the writer visited Miss Beam's school? The writer visited Miss Beam's school to see the teaching method because he had heard a lot about the school. What was the game that every child in the school had to play? Every child in the school had to play the role of a blind child, lame child, deaf child, injured child, and dumb child for a single day. Question number 3. Each term, every child has one blind day, one lame day. Complete the line. Which day was the hardest? Why was it the hardest? You can remember the blind day was the hardest. Yes. Each term, you first of all, you have to complete the line. Each term, every child has one blind day, one lame day, one deaf day, one injured day, and one dumb day. In this way, you can complete the line, and after that, you have to answer the question. The blind day was the hardest. It was the hardest because one felt that he or she was going to be hit by something every moment. Okay. Question number 4. What was the purpose of these special days? So this question is very important for you. Due to this purpose, the school was different. The purpose of these special days was to make the children understand the misfortune of disabled persons and behave like responsible citizens. Now, working with language, match the words and phrases with their meanings in the box below. Can you tell me what is meaning of homesick? Wanting to be home. This is meaning of homesick. Practically, almost. It pains me. It hurts me. So you can match in this way. I appreciate. That is understanding the difficulties. Thoughtless, not very caring. Exercise, test the strength of relief. Relief, a welcome change. Ghastly means what is the phrase? Terrible. Revert. These lines from the story. I had heard a great deal about Miss Bim's school. The author had heard many people appreciate Miss Bim's school.